Okay, today for our lesson, we are going to create an infographic in Adobe Spark. And I originally planned to create an infographic, but just a couple of days ago, I got this infographic from the district. It might be a good idea to maybe rework this infographic and make it, let's say, better. Remember, what an infographic does is it tries to give information in a graphic way that people will want to look at and read, and it'll be attractive to the eye. And I think this infographic doesn't quite do that. Now, this was made rather quickly and made by someone that's not really an artist per se. So we'll cut them a little slack here. That if they did it quickly, they just had to get it out, and it'll take a little bit of time to make a nice infographic. So I thought what we would do is redo this and make it a little bit more appealing, a little bit more attractive, and try to get basically the same information on our infographic. What worries me with this, it has so much text, and when you have all that text, people tend to not want to read it. So we'll go ahead and create an infographic that has this information, and we'll try to do it in a inviting and interesting way. Okay, so let's get started. I'd like to go to custom size here, and I'm going to make my infographic 800 pixels by 2000 pixels. This is a good infographic size, rather long and skinny, but that's quite all right. You'll notice we have the Adobe Spark watermark down there, and to remove that, we would have to pay, which we're not going to do. So what I want to do is start by getting maybe a background color. So I'm going to go to backgrounds here, and I could choose from all kinds of different backgrounds, and it really doesn't matter. Whichever one you want to choose, you can choose depending on how you're going to make your layout. And there's some different things up here, like you can change like the border size and the border color and things like that. And I think you can move these around a little bit. So don't think that you have to stick exactly with these proportions, and that's quite all right. I'm going to go with something plain, just a very basic shape. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I want to get a picture. So I'm going to come up here and add a photo, and I already have some photos that I found that I liked, and I wanted to use this COVID photo right here. And I'm going to put this right at the top of my infographic. Okay, now I'm going to go with the background color, and I want to pick the color of this right here so that it kind of matches. So you see it kind of matches. Now obviously I've got a problem right there. That's okay, we'll fix that. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I thought I would get something to go over this. And to do that, I thought I would add a icon, and I'm going to go for rectangle. I just want something long and skinny. There we go. That's fine right there. And I'm going to just put this way out over here and kind of cover that a little bit. And if I want to move this up, I can. I want to cover this. And just want to cover that line. And then I thought I would put on my stuff, I want to put District 87 schools. I already copied the text here, and so I could easily copy and paste it. And I want to add my text, paste it right there. And then, I can change the size right here. Probably want it a little bit smaller. Maybe, I don't know. And then I can change my font color, and I'll use this. Actually, I'm going to take this color. And I think I'm going to change my font. No, I think this font's not going to work. I want something a little bit bolder. Okay, I like this, and I'm definitely going to have to change that size. And I'm going to go with 100 point, see how big that is. One thing I don't like about this, I wish I could drag these out off to the side, and I don't like that about Spark. I really don't. It bugs me. Okay, I would put that on one line. Okay, so I've got District 87 schools. I got coronavirus. I think we need to put procedures on there. That's part of their text. It says right here, procedures. So let's get that on there. I think that's pretty important. And let's do this also in like a scripty font. And I think that's too light. It might be okay. I definitely don't want this back to be this color here. So get rid of where it says shape. I'm getting rid of that. Change this to black. And if I want to, I can angle that. Okay, we'll see how that goes. If we change our mind later, that's fine. I want to organize this into 3 sections, just like they did. So let me take a look at that. I thought I would add some circles. So I'm going to go back to icons and look for some circles. And, you know, there's several things here. I'm trying to look for one in particular that I like. This one could be interesting. Look at that one. Oh, I like this one right here. Okay, look at that. Okay, so I want to divide it into 3 sections. And I got 1. And then to duplicate this, I can just come up here and hit duplicate. 2. And then let's duplicate it again. 3. I can interlock them if I want to. But I'm thinking that I want to try different colors. So maybe I ought to start looking at my color palettes and try some different color palettes and see what I like. And that's the cool thing about this is you can just click on them and kind of look at the colors and see. Now you can change around the colors for the different elements, and that's perfectly fine. But you might find a color palette that you like. I might try to pull something out of one of these so that I have a kind of a matching color palette. And so I'm not sure about this yet. But again, I can go back and change the colors anytime I want and try some different things. And because purple is our school color, it seems like I need to get some purple in there. But I want to repeat some of the red or the purple or the green right there. So I can try some different color combinations and see what I like. And I think I like this, but what I'll do is I'll add a color to it. So for this right here, I'm going to change this color. And I can go to more and find some different colors like this if I want to. And maybe what I ought to do with this is I ought to change that. So what it does is it adds that to my color palette. And then that one right there, we don't want that. Okay, maybe I want to go with white on this, make it show up a little bit better. No, I don't want to do that. I want to go to more, go white. Okay. And we'll change, you know, if we don't like those, we'll change those later. And now you notice the background's changed a little bit from the color here. I can still change that. I'll go back and do that again. Make it more like that color there. Okay, and I can change the colors later. I can add some more colors, but this will get us started. So let's see what we have here. We have some information up here. So I've got to get that on there somewhere, but I want to focus on this right here. This information here is really important. So I want to kind of focus on that. Now, if you don't know even how to start with this infographic and you're not sure what you want to do, what I did was I went on the internet and I typed in like Corona infographic or COVID infographic, and I saw some different ideas of how other people have put these graphics together. And some of them are very, very nice. Here's one with a lot of different shapes, just like those templates that we had before. This one is kind of like mine, where they're going to have different circles. And, you can get some ideas just from doing a search. Or you could just go infographic and do a search, and you'll get all kinds of infographics. And then maybe you can kind of look at one of these and say, oh, I really like the way that looks. And maybe I'll make my infographic like that. Okay. Just remember, it has to be attractive and interesting. Now, they have some of these shapes here. And I know that you might say, oh, I'd like to have some shapes like that. And if you can't make those from the different elements that are on Adobe Spark, you might be able to search for some of those. So what I did was I searched for infographic shapes free, PNG free, and they come up with all these graphics, and you might be able to get some graphics from here and then add your own stuff to it. The only problem here is changing the colors would be really difficult unless you take it into a photo editor, and then you could change the colors. So it might be a little bit more work, but if you found something here that you really liked and you wanted to try to make it work, you could. So you could also get that. And I've got some more here that I searched for, and I got some different shapes, and I didn't really care for those. And then, in Pinterest, there's some things too, and you can search there and maybe get some ideas there. So if you're looking for ideas or different shapes that you can use, just go and search and look and see what's out there. Okay, so I've got my start set up here. I've got 3 different areas, and so I want to focus on staying safe. That's a part of it. So this is what my first circle is going to be, and I think it's going to be, for me, the biggest one. So I might want to even make it a little bit bigger. And don't be afraid to overlap these. Remember, in class we talked about how overlapping creates movement and it unifies our artwork. So don't be afraid to do that. Just try it and see, how it looks. And move some things around. Don't be afraid to move them around and overlap. And, if you don't want to overlap, that's fine. You can just do whatever you think will look best. But overlapping will help create unity, and it'll create movement. And so that will be good. So maybe on this one here, I need to put staying safe. So I'm going to add some text. And I'm going to add my own text. I'm going to paste that right in there, hit done. And I don't want this font for sure. And you see that we have various fonts in here. I like this one here. And I don't like it has spacing here. I think this line height is way off. I'm just going to bring this way down. And I think this is probably too big, because remember that, we're looking at the whole graphic, but if we want to look at this, this is going to be a pretty big graphic. So I'm not too worried about making the text really big. Well, I was trying to make this bigger on my page here, but if I do that, everything else is small. So I'm trying to figure out how to make this bigger here. How do I make it bigger? Okay, so let's go ahead and define our different areas here. The first one was staying safe, just like his, and we need positive cases. And again, I have this copy right here for me, all ready to go. And I'm going to create a new text field. And I'm going to do that again. And I want close contacts. And again, I'm going to create a new text. Add your own text. Paste that right there. Okay, and I may have to make these smaller, which is perfectly okay. Make them like 80 point. There we go, 80. And then we can do this one here, also 80. Okay, so that will get us by for a little bit. Now we've got a lot of information to get on here. I've got a ton of information to get on here. And what we may have to do is we may have to move these around a little bit, but I want to get some graphics for, this is the first thing you do, the second thing you do, three things. So I'm just going to add some text again, and I'm going to go with number 1. And I think I'm going to change the font to something bolder. Now we don't want to go crazy on the font. We don't want to have 1,000 fonts here, so we got to keep it to about 3 fonts. To duplicate this, all I have to do is go here, and I can click on duplicate and just bring this one down. Duplicate it again and bring it down here. And so I'm going to change these numbers, obviously, to 2 and to 3. And then I can change this color too, because obviously that's not going to work. And I could change this one here if I decide that I want something different, or if I want something really different, I can come in here and find something that works for me. Well, that's the bell. That means I only have 15 minutes to work on this before students get in here. So let's see what we can do in 15 minutes. And then I'll do this in 2 parts. This will be part 1 and then part 2. So now I've got at least my 3 areas that I'm working with here. And I may need some more room here, but I'm going to make this wording pretty small. So what I'll start doing now is I want to wear masks properly. I want to bring this over. I'm going to add it, text, and then we are going to change the size of this to 36 point. I'll change the color to white, and I may change this later. Okay, so maybe what I want to do is get a graphic. I think I'll change that now. I'm not feeling it. I may have to do something else to this. That's okay. So I want to probably bring a graphic in. I'm going to go add icon, and I'm going to go mask. I've got some people with masks. Some I don't want. That's not what I meant. Okay, maybe I could put doctor's mask. No. Medical mask. There we go. That's kind of what we're talking about, something like this. So we've got lots of options here, and we just have to kind of look through them and see which one we would want. It could be just a simple one right here, or it could be a person. We can always put doctor in here and see if we get something else. Okay, that's not really what we want, unless we have a doctor with a mask on. So that's not where we want to be. But we can look through it, see if there's anything in here. So I'm not seeing anything I want. Try just medical mask again and see if we can find what we want. I'm not super excited with what I see here. And if I can't find what I want here, I could always go to the internet and try to find something and bring it over. The good thing about this is they'll be consistent. So here's a mask right there. Whoops. I'm going to make that a little smaller. Bring that over here. Okay, because I want it to have every little thing to have an image with it. Okay, so what else do we have? Stay 6 feet apart. And we can just add text. Add your own text. Okay, and then we'll probably drop this down to, let's try 36. And we're just going to let's get all this text in here, and then we'll start arranging it instead of arranging it slowly. Okay, complete symptom certification daily. Okay, we got that. Text, add your own. And we'll make this 36. And what else do we have? How about wash hands often? Okay, add some text. Text your own text. Paste that in there. And we'll make that also 36. And then let's see if we can get some more of these in here. Stay home when sick, that's an important one. Again, we want 36. And again, we'll change the colors. Okay, how about wash hands often? Do we get that one? Yeah, we got that one. Deep clean schools daily. I don't know. I mean, this is important, but for a student is not going to deep clean schools daily. Okay, so what else do we have? Stay home when sick. Wash masks. Okay, that's good. But I'm going to leave that one out of there because maybe I'll change this clean your area or stay clean, something like that. It'll change that a little bit. Okay, so I've got several different things here. So I have to decide how I'm going to place these different objects on the page and what colors they should be. I could put them over here on the circles. I could put little icons with them, or I could line them all up over here with an icon, and then, like this. And then to stay 6 feet apart, what should I do here? I think I should add, how about rows? If there's one that's apart, like this. I could put a 6 in there too. Whoops. 6 feet apart. Again, this would be nice to be able to pull it off here, but okay, so you see what I'm doing is I'm kind of moving these in line and trying some different things. And I can move these and just see how it goes. And you see these lines look a little bit close. Before, when I changed the line, I have this different font, and I don't think I like this font. I wonder if I can change them all at once. So it doesn't look like change them all at once, but I think I'm going to change the font because I'm just not feeling it. And that may happen. Let's see, what font is this right here? Okay, Voltaire. Let's try Voltaire on this. I thought I could just type the name of it in there. It doesn't look like I can do that. So maybe that's better. I'm not feeling this. I wish I could do it faster. It would be nice to do that. So that's something. There are limitations to different programs, and that's just a limitation, I guess. Or I don't know how to do it. That could be it too. Okay, this one here. Okay, so we're still working on these, and we're going to try to make them better. And we're going to just mess around with them until we find something we like. Moving things around, changing the shape, changing the size. I'm okay with the background and the basic layout. But getting this in here, I'm not sure exactly how I want to do that. So next time what we'll do is we will focus on how to lay these things out and how to get the rest of this information into this infographic, which seems daunting because there's a lot of information and we don't want to make it boring. And this is kind of boring. So let's see what we can do about improving that, and hopefully we'll find a solution. Okay, so I will see you next time, and we will continue on this when I see you. Have a good day. Okay, I'm back. Had class, had to go to a couple classes, taught those, and then had a little time, so I went ahead and worked on this a bit. And you can see I've made quite a few changes. And I started to put the rest of my text on my page, and I sent a copy to the other art teacher, Mrs. Estabrook, and I asked her, do you think this is too much? And she felt it was too many colors and too much going on. But, you know, for an infographic, I think that that's okay. I think it's okay to have a lot going on. What I wonder, though, is will they be able to move around my graphic okay, and can they see it? So there's a few things that I'd like to do in my graphic. I would like to change this so maybe I have a shadow, and I can make it a drop shadow, and I can change the color here to like a black, and that might make that show up a little bit better. And I could try these other ones too if I wanted to do that. I can do a shadow and change the color to black and see if that works out better. I don't know how it will work on this one here since it's pretty dark already. So I can do that, and then well, it's got a gray shadow. I think that'll be okay. So that looks pretty good overall. So I'm trying to make these show up a little bit. I might even want to do this one, add a shadow to that one, and I'm not going to make it gray. I'm going to make it the black. So I'll see how that looks and if I like that or not. And then I can move this around a little bit. Now I still have a little bit of information I'm supposed to put at the top here, and I don't know if I can get it up there. There's so much information to put on here, and I try to put it in little chunks so that people would read it, and with a little bit of artwork involved too. And some of it I think is okay, and some of it's not. So I have a paragraph I'm supposed to get up here. I just don't know how I'm going to do it. I could try to make this smaller, but I thought this should be the biggest circle because this is staying safe is, I think, the most important information. And then these are important too, but maybe to a lesser extent. So I may have to change this a little bit to get my other information up here. and move some things around and change the sizes of things. To get an icon, all you have to do is push the plus sign and then go to icon there, and you can find an icon. And there's a search key in there. You can search for different things and then maybe try different icons and see if you can get some better icons instead of this one right here. And then this one right here is for notifying families, and I put like a notification bell. I don't know if people would understand that. I also use the phone down here for, I think I might change that color. I use the phone down there. No, I don't like that. Okay, we're going to have to probably go with, let's go with a gray. I use the phone down there, and I know that some people, young people, don't even know what that is. I mean, they don't think of a phone as like a cell phone. So that's a little bit questionable. Another thing that I've noticed on Adobe Spark is I'd like to blow this up and look at this a little bit closer. And they don't have a good way of making the poster or the infographic bigger so I could see it on the screen a little bit better. And so I'm not sure why they have that issue. I tried some different things and I went and Googled it, and other people are having the same issues where they thought they needed to see it a little bit better and they couldn't see it. So I think that again is a limitation of Adobe Spark. So I still have a little bit of work to do. I want to show you my other ones I've kind of worked on. And this is the first one I tried, and I didn't like the way it was going, and I kind of abandoned it. And then on this one here, this was kind of my testing ground here. And you can see that I started to do something similar that I'm doing now. And I tried some things, moved some things around, found some images that I liked, and and I started to focus my idea around this here. I will update you the next time we meet. I will give you an update. So I will see you in a little while.